static fire stand upgrades at Massey's, replacement static fire stand platform at Sanchez, Ship 39 begins stacking at the build site, and work begins on demolition at Pad 1. These are just some of the updates at Starbase, Texas, so settle in for episode 103 of Starbase Flyover Update from your favorite camera in the sky, RGB aerial photography. This flight was conducted on October the 18th at 6,000 feet with mostly sunny skies. I'm BJ, and I'll be guiding you around today, so kick back and enjoy the view. Let's get started over at the Massey's test facility. Beginning at the flame trench, work is commenced on reconfiguring the static fire stand after it was partially damaged during the Ship 36 anomaly. New steel plates and rig segments can be seen placed on the stand and sitting nearby to upgrade the stand for version 3 ships. Staged on the ramp is an additional platform for the top of the QD gantry. Moving to the left, a steel frame has been erected to cover the systems in the fluids bunker, and an additional layer of concrete will be poured on top. Next, at the methane side of the tank farm, the main methane supply line to the static fire stand has been placed on the main pipe rack and has been connected to the valve sled near the heat exchanger. Looking closer, the two pipes from the valve set have been run to the inlet and outlet manifolds of the heat exchangers. The parts that connect them are staged on the ground nearby. Off to the side, the plumbing for the fire exit system that was spotted last week at the Sanchez site is being welded together for final installation. The LOX farm had minimal progress this week, with only these two pipes installed. At the ship cryo stand, some new lugs that connect to the thrust vector control rams have been installed, indicating a change of engine orientation for version 3 ships. At the front of the site, a new backup generator has been installed at the end of the new bunker. Across the driveway, 2 new Tesla Megapacks have also been added to the battery backup system. On our way to the Sanchez site, we'll have a quick look at the various SpaceX sites along Highway 4 and in Brownsville. Starting at the Rio West site, all the accommodation structures are well into construction, with many of them now completed. The commercial building to the front is having exterior cladding installed. Nearby, the site for the new restaurant is being cleared. Boom sections from the SpaceX LR11000 are being moved to the launch site, and counterweights from the crane yard at Sanchez are being moved to the Highway 4 storage yard. Near the new mystery lot, we can see where the services are being moved to allow room for the new 4-lane roadwork development. More Gigabay steel has arrived at the newest site near the airport. Many of the parts for the 3rd tower crane have also arrived, with some parts for the 4th also staged. Finishing off at the airport storage lot, we can see more version 3 booster transport stand arms are staged. Near the gate, the original booster quick disconnect hood is left to rust. And finally, this device hiding under the plastic wrapping could be part of a new optical ground link. Let's head back to Starbase with a stop at Sanchez. Here's a labeled map to find your way around the site. Take a moment to pause if you need some extra time. Starting at the workstand construction area, the newest booster transport stand has been relocated to near the rocket garden, confirming the speculation last week that its construction is complete. Next to the open space, 10 version 3 clamps and arms are staged. It's unclear if these are to begin upgrading the second stand, or if these may be new arms for upgrading one of the Megabay 1 stands recently cleared. This is more likely, as the work stands only have 10 clamp arms and use these white-colored clamps. To the side, a newer platform accompanied by 4 legs is staged. Another set of these can also be seen at the painting tent further along the front wall, with a third possibly farther inside. These appear to be an upgraded version of the elevated platforms installed on the Megabay 2 workstand lifts, allowing crews to access the power heads for installation and maintenance. These are likely for the new stand in the front right corner of the bay, as that stand was installed without these additions. Moving a bit, we see 21 of the hold-down arm doors are now all staged near the communications bunker. Like the hold-down arms, spare components have been delivered, likely to be used for the Pad 1 OLM when it is built. Moving to the middle of the site, we can see a replacement access platform for the ship's static fire stand getting rebuilt after Ship 36's anomaly. It appears stronger with a thicker center frame. another step closer to getting Massey's ready for version 3 ships. Rolling to the ship QD arm area, the pipe frame was installed on top of the pipes, just as if it is going to have some covers on top. With all of this, the ship QD arm could be moved to the launch site very soon, another big step towards having Pad 2 operational. Now at the scrapyard, the final hot stage ring test article was finally scrapped after almost 2 years. You can see that the dance floor has moved here. Remember that this was a platform that was used at Pad 1 to facilitate work on engines and the launch mount itself. Next to the scrapyard, the staging and assembly area for Gigabay 1 and 2 access platforms continue to restock parts as they are installed. Finally, as mentioned before, Booster Transport Stand 3 has been staged to the side of Gigabay 2. Just before moving to the build site, we would like to thank all of our YouTube and Patreon members. Remember, all the patrons get to participate in our show and tell sessions on the same day of each flight. Here you can join in the discussions and ask your own questions. YouTube members also get to watch and listen in with a live chat function. Let's begin with a look at progress at the Gigabay. A large portion of the floor of the building has been poured, with the last area surrounding the workstations happening during the flyover. At the time of writing this episode, all concrete has been poured within the building footprint. Work is progressing with assembly of the tower cranes. In this image, we can see the cab has been lifted, and at the time of writing, crews had just finished assembly of the first crane. On October 21st, while the crane was in final stages of preparation, the LR1300 began placing columns in the middle of the building as they were delivered. At Gigabay 1, the door prevented any clear views, but the 2 sections of Booster 18 can be seen on the turntable. The next barrel section to complete the methane tank is expected to roll very soon, possibly before this video is released. To the right, at Gigabay 2, we can see the nose cone and payload section of Ship 39. On October 20th, the forward section rolled out of the factory. The nose cone would move above it to tandem lift to the turntable in the back right of Gigabay 2. Thanks to Lab Padre for this clip from Rover 1 camera. As always, work continues on the apartment building, with more prefab concrete sections coming into the site and being installed at a steady pace. Now let's check up on progress at the launch site. Starting at Pad 2, the 20 clamp arms have been extended again this week. At the tips, the cylinders can be seen, now oriented straight up. They do not have the spherical shape, indicating they are not the final part the booster rests on. Significant welding on the launch mount may also be complete. The many orange and yellow cables for the heating pads have been removed, as well as the generator trailers that powered them. Looking at the booster quick disconnects, all 6 of the larger flex lines are now visible, following continued installation from the last flyover. Just below, the cladding on the bunker is unchanged, however that wouldn't last long. The crane is connected to the top panel that covers the water manifold to the right side of the liquid oxygen BQD hood. It took a couple attempts, but was installed later in the day. Overnight, the lower panel on the left was also installed. Watch for the next flyover, as several other panels have also been installed. Additional cladding panels are staged nearby. Some interesting observations in the longer manifold cover include a valve assembly installed. The cutout is also visible on the lifted panel, suggesting the same installation beneath. Just to the side, 2 additional panels have arrived. These appear to be vent covers for the 2 pairs of large vents on the bunker. In this alternate view, 5 square-shaped holes will allow the vents to be covered and still breathe. The valve on the previous panel is also seen more clearly. As the scaffolding is removed from the flame trench, some new reinforcements have been added to each side of the launch mount legs, since there was a gap between the parts and were not welded directly to the wall panels. Also clearly visible is some additional plates that are added below each of the 4 corners. To the back side of the launch mount, the concrete slab has been poured. A significant portion was not brought up to final grade, however a grid of embedded studs can be seen. Like the mounts for the steel plates of the flame trench ramps, this appears to be prepared to have a steel surface added. This area is likely to experience the engine plume during vehicle catches, so it would stand to reason a steel surface may hold up better than concrete. Just above, we can see this embed is installed around the base of the water pipes, confirming that there will be cladding over this area. We don't have a view all the way up the back leg of Tower 2 this week, however this image shows the cable tray added. Ground observations note it is complete to the upper SQD actuator mount. Progress can also be seen with the SpaceX LR11000 as the boom is being reinstalled. Behind the cab, the backpack counterweight tray is also staged. This should give the configuration the extra balance needed for installation of the rapidly progressing SQD arm. To the west of the tower, formwork for the retention wall along the perimeter is now assembled as crews work to finish the concrete in this area. With the configuration of the crane suspected for the SQD arm, the concrete slab in this area will likely need to be finished for the crane to position here. Closer to the road, new precast drain culverts are being buried between the recently installed lift station and the curbs running along Highway 4. At the water tank farm, the supply pipe for the launch mount deck has been welded. This should complete the major components, allowing the plate to be tested once work is finished and cleared of equipment. Just to the side, the final two cladding assemblies for the far corners near the top deck are staged. Moving further along the tank farm, 5 of the older vaporizers have been removed. The concrete below this area is being removed in preparation of 3 new vaporizers that will complete the upgraded set of 8. At the Pad 1 pump farm, systems here have started early stages of decommissioning. The methane pumps are no longer connected to the tank farm, with the basket strainer assembly, once located here, removed. The next phase of Pad 1 demolition began on October 20th, with excavators taking up position along the tank farm berm wall. The concrete would soon begin removal, leaving the bare dirt berm exposed. Thanks to Starbase Surfer for posting this clip on X of work on the 21st. At Pad 1, it has been unusually quiet as the original launch pad has seen its last flight. This image really shows the abuse it was exposed to by the fury of 33 Raptor engines. The spalling of the burn plates on both the launch ring and the top of the booster quick disconnect hood is extreme, with the holes drilled for the plug welds having the weld material bladed away. With the relatively undamaged surface of the deflector plate below, the deluge plate on top of the Pad 2 launch mount should make this level of damage less likely. From above, here's another angle to see this damage. While work to begin removal of the launch mount has yet to begin, the same can't be said about the Tower 1 chopsticks. We previously reported that the landing rail dampeners were removed prior to Flight 11. Near the hinge end of the chopsticks, the 2 arms have been chained together to prevent them from moving. Prior to Flight 11, some unknown welding and grinding was also observed. While visible in the previous flyover images, it went unnoticed until reviewing these images that 4 lifting tabs have been installed at the ends of each stick, likely for shortening the sticks in place without removing them from the tower. On October 19th, the removal of the landing rail pushers began, and the 2 ship lifting pins were also lifted off the arms. As we finish, a quick look at the ASU shows continued site preparation, with layers of gravel and geomesh being laid. Dozens of bags filled with a lightweight glass foam aggregate have also been delivered. That's it for episode 103 of Starbase Flyover Update. Thank you for choosing to fly with RGV aerial photography, and I hope you all enjoyed the flight. If you like what you saw today, please subscribe for more episodes and content so you don't miss out on the new videos each week. I'm BJ, and we hope to see you again from 6,000 feet.